was there watching. So that kind of discouraged the drug dealers from being there, and also the strength of the Muslims.
Okay, let me just ask you another question. It was bad for their business, but do you find among the criminal element that they just have a level of respect for Muslims which they don't have for other people?
I think at that time, definitely they had a level of respect for Muslims that they don't have for other people. However, and I'm just going to be honest with you, that over the years, we find some criminal elements that are so wicked. They have respect for no one. They don't have respect for law enforcement with guns. They don't have respect for the church. They don't have respect for the synagogue. Muslims, nor masjids, nor or anything. But again, I think coupled with, I want to see, it sounds real good to say, well, they're afraid of the Muslims, they respect the Muslims, and they're not going to mess with the Muslims. Because if that were the case, it would be all over the world the same way, and all over the city, and all over the country the same way. And sometimes that level of respect is not there. So we need to build it up again, because I think that there was a time when definitely most of the people in the inner cities respected the Muslims. And that's for a lot of reasons. They respected the Muslims. And the irony of all irony is that partly because of the Nation of Islam, because these were no-nonsense brothers. Many of the brothers came from the street. Many brothers were definitely not afraid of the criminal elements. They were once part of it. In fact, some of them are known to the old criminal elements. We had a brother out of Chicago named Salik, and he don't mind me saying it. He was like the #1 drug dealer in Chicago. So he became a Muslim. When he became a Muslim, when he moved into the area and opened up a masjid, he let them know, you're not going to mess with the Muslims. And they respected him, so they had that kind of respect. Likewise, in New York City, we had some brothers who used to be drug dealers, used to be in the criminal activity. One of the best examples is Malcolm X himself, who was transformed after having been in prison. He comes out now, and he becomes respected. And those who used to know Dirty Red, Malcolm, respected him. And part of the respect is the change that he made, and then part of the other respect is the strength that they showed. So I think, yes, the criminal elements, there is a level of kind of respect for the Muslims.
And when you were successful in cleaning up this area from the drug dealers and other undesirables, how did that affect the dawah effort? I mean, did it enhance the dawah efforts for the Muslims in this area?
We got so much publicity from this. Every major media came here, covered it. We were on the front page of New York Times newspaper, Times Magazine, Newsweek Magazine, USA, and World Report. They came from France, Italy, German, all over the world, Turkey. They came and said, how did you do it? So we got a tremendous amount of publicity. Let me tell you something interesting that happened. When we were when we were having the drug patrols, it was so famous that a couple of things would happen. When our area, where we are on Bedford Avenue, Fulton Street, is a major thoroughfare, and we got buses coming from both ways.
And I'm sorry not to interrupt you. I know it's a major thoroughfare because my grandfather used to bring watermelons from North Carolina, and this was his favorite spot to sell watermelons.
Okay, right. So what happens when the buses came by? It was really interesting. The people would literally come from on the bus and look and point. So there it is. There they are.
Mashallah.
Right? And it was like, and some people told me that sometimes they would get off their stop a couple of blocks before so that they can walk on our block. There was a woman, a Jehovah's Witness, who told me, old lady, that she came to the masjid. Never been to a masjid before. She said, listen, I used to hate Muslims. I tell you the truth. I used to hate Muslims. But when I saw what you guys did, I just wanted to say thank you very much. Thank you for the community. Thank you for the neighbors. An old lady came once, a Christian. She came in and she sat down and she started just talking to me like she was my grandmother or something. And she stayed for hours just talking. She felt so comfortable. Never been into a masjid before. One of the we have a lot of businesses in the area. When the 40-day patrol was over, one of the people from the businesses came and said, "Oh, that was a great patrol. When are you going to start it again? And how much will it cost?" So people were so ecstatic because, I mean, literally the people in this neighborhood, it literally changed their life and their standard of living and their quality of life. So, I mean, we didn't have to go out and invite people to come in. They came in on their own. And not only did that affect the Muslims right here in this particular area, but I was told by many imams across the country the same thing. Because of the mass media, and they saw what the Muslims were doing, they were like ecstatic, and people talking about, wow, these Muslims are really wonderful. And then around the country began the copycats. Many people began to do the same thing, have anti-drug patrols.
Alhamdulillah. Imam, you're involved in a lot of outreach projects and interfaith dialogue. What do you feel are some of the most common misconceptions you encounter, and what are some of the most important ones you would like to address when you meet these forums?
You know, it's not really what I think I need to address, but what they themselves want to address. I mean, I go on many forums, and you know, the question post 9/11 is about Muslims being terrorists, Muslims and violence. That's one issue. Another issue is women's rights, how Muslims, women treated in Islam, their role in Islam. And I know that, for instance, tomorrow you're going to interview Ingrid Mattson. Ingrid Mattson is one of the great Muslim heroes in America. She's the president of perhaps the largest Muslim organization in America, Islamic Society of North America. She's a very wonderful person, a very intelligent person. So a lot of questions about that, questions about race relationships between Muslims, because, you know, Muslims, we have about 1.5 billion Muslims around the world, and every race, every color, every ethnicity, every nationality are Muslims. In our masjid alone, I think we counted about 29 different nationalities.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, so the questions, I think right now, in the climate that we live right now, probably the whole idea of